Hello everybody, my name is EonShiKeno. I'm going to do a commentary today for Force SC2 strategy. We're on Metalopolis. We've got a game between VVV Titan, our blue Zerg player at the bottom part of the map, and on the top part of the map, top left part of the map I guess you would say, FXO OpticZero. Pretty good name, it rhymes very well I think. FXO OpticZero rolls off the tongue there, but he is our red Protoss player in the left side of the map here. And this is a ladder game. We're having a little bit of conversation, asking who each other loses to quite frequently. And evidently, OpticZero is having problems with the Zergs. And fortunately for Titan, he is Zerg. And we're going to have a little ZVP today. So we do have close air distance. And we're going to have Titan fly as Overlord over here. And probably just sneak in here. We're going to check out his vision. He's just going to come over here. And as soon as he sees that Nexus, he's going to turn around very quickly and maybe OpticZero will send a probe out. At about this time, 1:30 is about the time I like to send a probe out just to scout this area, just to see if there's an Overlord being scouted, scouting you. So we did see him turn around right there. And I don't think OpticZero has seen it yet. Nope, not yet. But let's check out what builds we got going here. So OpticZero going for a wall off. Looks like he's going to wall off with the Gateway and Cybernetics Core. Pretty standard. Don't want to wall off with the Pylon. Those are a lot weaker. And of course, when you lose the Pylon, all your buildings will be deactivated. So Titan over here is going for a pool, then spawning pool build. So more than likely, he's going to be focusing on getting Zergling speed out first. And that, of course, is going to delay his hatchery just a little bit, as if he went for a pool, then hatchery, and then got gas later. So we'll probably see an expansion coming from here in a little bit. Most Zerg players usually do this. They take their second Overlord, send it to their expansion just to make sure there's no proxy cannons out there or any type of wall off or anything like that. So more than likely he's going to go for an expansion, I would assume. We got our gas going up for OpticZero, got a Cybernetics Core, and it looks like he has just enough room here for a Zealot. That might actually be too big there. I'm not quite sure. I usually put my Cybernetics Core right next to my Gateway, and then I would have one spot left over here for Zealot. I just prefer to have them next to each other. But anyway, not much going on so far. We do have speed, so yes, he was going for speed, and he got out 4 Zerglings. Pretty standard, get out 4 Zerglings just to control the map a little bit. And we have a drone coming out here. Send it out a little bit early before you get to 300. That way we can drop that hatchery right there when it gets to 300. And you saw him pull off all those units off gas. He really needs to focus on minerals at this point and just get a lot of drones. This is the point where Titan is going to be drone pumping very hard. Because he will have map control for a little bit with these Zerglings and speed as soon as it finishes. And okay, he's walling off with the Pylon additional, so that wasn't enough to wall off there. I don't really like this wall off as well as just a Gateway and then Cybernetics Core and then a Zealot, but I don't know, everybody has their own style. And Titan, looks like we had a little bit of pause there for a second, but Titan up here just leaving these 4 Zerglings outside his opponent's base just to make sure no really early rush is coming, and just keep an eye on what type of units he's going for. He really needs to keep an eye on this Warp Gate research, whether or not it's being started, and it hasn't been started yet. Kind of odd. We have the Pylon down here. He may be going for a Stargate build or something like that, but he is on 2 gas, so he could easily afford a Stargate. Hasn't started anything yet, so there he is. He's going double double Stargate, so that's definitely something to look out for. I wonder if Titan noticed that Warp Gate research wasn't started when he was up there attacking that, when it definitely should have been. So we're going to have a forge being placed and 2 Stargates. This forge, more than likely, is going to be for placing a cannon just in case he anticipates some type of early rush. So we had the hatchery just now finishing. Good timing on those drones being sent over, transfer. So the drone count on Titan should be getting up there, and we see some spore crawlers. So, whoa, did he actually see that starport? He didn't scout that starport, but yet he's throwing on spore crawlers. Okay. 3 spore crawlers, 6 spore crawlers. Wow. I'm looking at his vision here. He doesn't see the starports, so I'm just assuming that Titan noticed the Cybernetics Core wasn't researching anything, and he just is assuming his opponent is going for Stargates. So that's some Spidey sense right there. I tell you what. The OpticZero is doing the smart thing here, has the Stalker on patrol. He doesn't want any Overlords to pop up. And oh no, I just saw those Phoenixes, and that definitely, he definitely knows now that the air is coming, so his Spidey sense paid off, getting all those spore crawlers up. and we definitely have a lot of AA, so that definitely just shut down all this air that is now being produced by OpticZero. So we're going to see what kind of damage he can do with these 4 Phoenixes. Even though there's so many Spore Crawlers, he's got those things covering his opponent's base, and he read him very well. So I don't know how much damage he's actually going to be able to do. There are a lot of Spore Crawlers up and Queens, and at this point there's not much he can do. So he'll be able to freely pump drones for a long time, because after your opponent sinks that much money into making air, it's going to take them a long time to be able to switch their tech into a lot of warp gate units. You can see right now he's chrono boosting his warp gates. He's probably going to try and switch into mostly ground army now, considering how many Spore Crawlers there are. I mean, he can keep his air army, and then that kind of just gives him map control, but and allow him to get up some expansions, but he won't be able to do very much harassing. You can see anytime he gets anywhere close in here, he's just going to probably lose that Phoenix, and yeah, he even lost the Phoenix right there. Not really worth it. Titan doing a very good job of keeping control on all that stuff. We have the Banelings nets going up, and third base going down over here on the right, and OpticZero, has he scouted that yet? Nope, he hasn't scouted that yet. But some Void Rays coming out. Probably a pretty good idea to switch to Void Rays in case his opponent tries to get out some type of roaches, anything like that. OpticZero throwing down some cannons and a natural expansion also, and these Phoenixes trying to get in here. Oh no, they tried to get that, but it was quickly turned into an extractor. That drone lived to turn into an extractor. So probes are now being transferred. OpticZero is a little bit behind. He spent most of his money early game to go into tech, and of course whenever you spend that much money in tech, your economy is going to be laxing, and you just will be a little bit behind. So economy wise, he's going to be behind. He is ahead in the tech wise just because he has those Phoenixes out, but you can see the harvester count 55 to 38. Titan is well in the lead at this point. Got some Void Rays out. One sentry just for a force field that ramp in case there's any type of Zergling run by. He's even getting Protoss air weapons level 1 upgrade, so I guess he's going to stick with the air and just try and he might go for that really ridiculous Protoss death ball that involves stalkers, Void Rays, and Colossi. So I saw him get a robotics facility. Where was that at? He's making a robo facility and some gateways, so it wouldn't surprise me if we see a robotics support bay go up somewhere pretty soon. That may come up here pretty soon a little bit, but 2 more gas going down. He's definitely going to need 4 gas if he wants to support this really tech-heavy army. If that's what he's actually going to go for, he's going to need 4 gas definitely. So let's check out what Titan's doing. Doing a really good job of spreading these creep tumors across the map. He's going to send a Zergling out to do some scouting. And has he scouted that yet? He is aware of the expansion, and he's going to go actually check for a third, but he's not going to see anything up there. That's going to be a little bit of good news because he is ahead of his opponent in bases. And Burrow being researched, 22 Zerglings coming out, an Overseer, and some centrifugal hooks being upgraded for his Banelings. Now, he's going a lot of Zerglings with Banelings, which is kind of odd considering your opponent is going air. So Titan is not necessarily trying to kill his opponent's army with this army. He's probably just going to go and try and deal a really huge, massive damage to his opponent's economy, because that's really the only thing you can do with Banelings at this point is take out a bunch of probes or even a Nexus at this point. And Overseer flying through the base, just kind of sacrificing itself. It's going to die here, but he's going to get a lot of good intelligence. He's going to see all the Void Rays, and of course the upgrades going. He sees a robotics facility. So we can check this out. Whoa, we're actually going to lose some Overlords here in a little bit of trains that they're in this, trying to get over to the no-fly zone where all these Spore Crawlers are, but they're getting picked off, and he actually gets 2 Overlords there at that point. We have a huge transfer of units up here. You can see all these Banelings and Zerglings, and Titan is getting ready to go for an attack. He's on 3 base versus 2 base, and it looks like he's going to try and stay at 3 base for a while. He's going to go for an attack right now. That's a lot of Banelings and Zerglings. Void Rays aren't going to do too much against all these Banelings. Force Field is going to move down, trying to save everything, but he doesn't have that many sentries left. It looks like both of them are already dead. Banelings are trying to get in, but there's a wall of Force Field just keeping them at bay, and those Banelings are just trying to get in. They're just going to go straight back to the probe line, deal a lot of damage. Phoenix's Void Rays trying to do as much damage as possible, destroying all those probes. Probe count very low at this point. 6247 is probably going to drop here in a little bit more. Those Void Rays are getting a whole bunch of kills, and all those probes are going to die. He's trying to catch him with those Banelings, but they all got a couple more down and cleaning them all up. It looks like only 2 probes survived that massive onslaught. Now, even though Titan lost his entire army with that attack, he can rebuild it so fast. You can see the economy, 62 harvesters versus 38. And that trade went pretty well in favor of Titan. doing a really good job, just taking out a lot of economy, really crippling OpticZero. He does have air, but you have to keep in mind that OpticZero's air can attack his opponent's base, sure, but there are a lot of Spore Claws already up, so he already has base defenses, so he's really not threatened by losing his entire army. And whenever your opponent is going mass air, you can easily go mass circling and baneling and just deal so much damage to their economy that they really can't afford to keep making all those tech units. So Titan is scouting out this third base. He's going to take it out. It looks like it's going to be forced to cancel. OpticZero is going to need to cancel that, or of course forfeit all that money. And it looks like he does cancel right there. Some Phoenixes are going to try and come and pick up units. Void Ray is going to deal some damage. There's an Observer in there also, I guess just to see if there's any Infestors or something like that. But losing some units here. Actually lost quite a few Zerglings. I don't think that trade went very well for him. I think as soon as he took out that Nexus, he probably should have just ran away. Those Void Rays got a lot of free kills there, and he only managed to kill a couple of Stalkers. But we're having a really big switch to Mutalisk, which I think is a smart move. Mutalisk do deal very well damage, do very good damage to Void Rays. Phoenix is not so much, but as we can see, he's kind of stopped the Phoenix production and kind of sticking to Void Rays. So the switch to adding in Mutalisks is going to do very well against this Void Ray combination. While there are only a couple Phoenixes, those aren't going to add up too much against this mass number of Phoenixes. So a lot of Zerglings are once again going on the attack. We have a fourth base going up. It looks like he even set up another macro hatchery here. Macro hatchery, is, of course, is a hatchery that is used just solely for producing more larvae as opposed to harvesting from it. And Titan going on the attack here, trying to keep his opponent limited to 2 bases while he continues to expand and applies pressure. Force fields going down. Wow, really nice force fields. Keeping the Zerglings away from that Nexus and helping it survive, and it's going to get up. And if he can get this up, throw up some more photon cannons, this Nexus may actually survive, and they may actually get a little bit farther into the game. Quite a few Void Rays out, you can see right now. 8 Void Rays out, 3 Phoenixes, and I'm not sure if he's actually scouted that Spire. Where's the Spire even at? There it is. So no, he hasn't scouted the Spire, and I think Titan's been doing a pretty good job of keeping these Mutalisks hidden. He's had a lot of Mutalisks for a while now, and he's just kind of been keeping them hidden in his base here. I think he's trying to keep this more of a surprise, so that way his opponent doesn't have the time to make a lot of Phoenixes. So a lot of Stalkers coming out, Stalkers and Sentries. No Zealots yet. There's a really heavy tech army here. More Void Rays coming out, and this is going to be, I think, with the massive number of Mutalisks he has. And does he have any upgrades? No upgrades yet. 44 Zerglings being produced. A lot of Banelings, Twilight Council being produced. And he's going to use that Observer, take up these Creep Tumors as he pushes, and OpticZero is going to try and deal some damage here, but he's not aware of the massive number of Mutalisks that are out. 48 Zerglings coming out. This is going to be, I think this is going to go pretty well for Titan. A lot of force fields going down, nice force field, but all the Mutalisks come in, and there's just so much damage right now. You can just see all the Banelings trying to get through those force fields. Units now going around the back, and those Mutalisks are really not focus firing. Those Voiders are actually doing really good damage to this, but the ground army is completely slaughtered. You can see that Mutalisks looks like the Voiders are going to take out the Mutalisks, the Zerglings and Banelings. There's a huge army. Look at the swarm just going straight for it, and this base is going to get toasted. And now OpticZero has these Void Rays. Is he going to go back to his base to try and save it, or is he going to pressure the attack with the Void Rays? Not quite sure. It looks like he's going to go back. Really critical decision right there. That may come to bite him in the end of the game, but oh wow, look at all those probes just getting slaughtered in that attack. Small strike force coming here, going to take out some more Banelings, or take out some more probes. Boom, there we go, taking him out. He's kind of rolling around there, actually. Didn't miss too many. Actually loses a Nexus. That is natural. Void Rays coming back to base, trying to get some kills. And Titan at this point just has so many ground units that the Void Rays really can't just kill him fast enough. And this Photon Cannon doing a little bit of damage, but you can see he's still doing fine. He's on 4 bases at this point. Now, this one actually isn't mining anymore. Gonna have to transfer those pretty soon, but still producing Mutalisks. So there's quite a few down here, actually. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't switched over to Hydra. Hydra definitely a lot more effective against Void Rays than Mutalisks are, and a little bit cheaper. So Titan kind of sticking with this game plan of getting a lot of Zerglings out and adding in some Mutalisks just for a little bit more DPS, spinning that gas. You have to keep your army balanced as far as gas and minerals go. You can't have a really heavy mineral army unless you can actually support it. If you're going to harvest gas, you need to spend it. So Void Rays are going back on the attack now, and Zergling's actually flanking around from the side here, just going to go try and take out this expansion, keep him confined to one base. This base isn't even mining anymore, so this is the only base now mining for OpticZero. He's investing a lot into Photon Cannons to try and keep it alive, but just a couple Banelings will actually be able to take this out. Maybe doesn't even need to worry about killing the probes. So Void Rays down here, a lot of Mutalisk and Queens with backup. OpticZero actually GGing right there. Titan GGing. Wow, that was a very good game. we definitely saw that early game scout, or actually prediction. He said he scouted it, but in his vision I couldn't see it. Not quite sure what that was, but definitely predicting the void rays, predicting the air, putting up a lot of spore crawlers, kept him alive, and he just flooded his opponent with so many Zerglings, Banelings that it didn't even matter if he lost his whole army. His economy was so much higher than his opponent's that he could just keep reinforcing, losing his army over and over. And Titan just doing a really good, showing us really well today just how to swarm with Zerg against the opponent going air. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. You can check out my YouTube page at youtube.com/EonShiKeno. And if you don't know how to spell that, you can just look at the overlay on the right-hand part of the screen. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll be posting some more videos here on Force SC2 strategy. Thanks.